This video is brought to you by Squarespace. I have called 5 different places home in the last 8 months, and finally, I've landed in a place where I feel like I might be able to stay. The surplus of landlord specials aside, this is my dream place. Truly, this is everything that I've wanted for so long. It's a home that has character, is a manageable amount of space, customizable, and feels like me. I love it. For those of you who don't know, I moved to Denver over 6 months ago, and I had 2 other places that I lived before this. Both of them I was renting rooms with roommates, and both of those roommates, batshit crazy. Like, I had to pack it up and leave in the course of like 48 hours in the first place I lived, just to move to a place that I had to then pack it up and leave in the course of 1 hour while that roommate was at work because I was genuinely scared of seeing them. My roommate flipped the fuck out at me, so we're moving out in like 45 minutes. I'm so stressed and overwhelmed With the help of a few friends, we got out, dropped all my shit at this place, toured it, signed the lease, and moved in all in the same day. I've been able to find so much more consistency, which is really what I've been searching for. Can you guys hear that one bug? It's crazy because a car will just drive by and then it's silence. Making space for these moments is the most important practice for me, which doesn't mean that I do it often. It just means that every time that I do, I'm reminded of how much is going on, because when you strip it all away and you experience a true moment of stillness, you realize just how much shit you're encoding all day. Just how much is floating around, entering, bouncing off the walls of your brain that's beyond your control. Okay, you enter the space and we got this little entryway area. I don't know what to do with her. We have a little rug, we have some shoes, we have my grocery bags for when I leave the door. Still very temporary living. But don't think I don't have plans. No, I have plans with this. I bought this vase. Isn't this so fun? And I'm gonna put this vase right here. It's giving home. Then, we'll get a mirror, we'll get some light bouncing out here. But where I wanna take you guys is into the bathroom. Welcome to my bathroom. I'm just gonna bask in the sunlight coming in from the skylight. Hell yeah. That's right. I love this bathroom. She's cute. She's everything you need a bathroom to be. I also have projects I want to do in here. I want to install little cabinets to put linen and towels in. This is fun. I've never had a home where I've thought this way before, but I'm I'm going to build a cabinet. And yeah, I'm going to put towels in it. And yeah, that's going to be the purpose. And that's worth my time. Why? Because I want to feel comfortable in my home. Versus throwing the towels in the closet like I used to do? Not even having a spare towel? That's the old me. I think slowing down can just be a way to let everything settle, become clearer. provides so many answers. I think sometimes I just get so overwhelmed. It feels like everything is happening at once and the whole world is just collapsing in on me. And I know some of you can relate to this because I think it's a direct product of the world we live in, this generation, and what we've been handed as we've been born into this time. These moments are harder and harder to come by. It's getting harder and harder to avoid distraction. It's a generational curse, truly, to not be able to escape constant stimulation. It is the scariest thought. It's such a conscious effort to come away from it when, until recently, that was just a natural, integral part of life. But there's the thing is I didn't even realize how far I had drifted away from it until I did slow down. And it was so blatantly obvious. Hey. We've now arrived at the kitchen. If you would follow me through this window, I'll show you around. Okay, kitchen. I love it. I love it. I got crazy news. I have not cooked a meal in 6 months. I have not cooked a meal in 6 months before I moved into this place. I've been cooking 2 to 3 meals a day. On a serious note, to not have control over what's going on in my body because I didn't have access to kitchens. No, I was ordering Uber Eats every day. 3 meals a day in this economy? That shit adds up. Y'all said, oh, well, you've been so much more active recently. Yeah, I know, I had to be. I've had to be to pay for my peanut noodles. Okay? I got some books here. These I was gifted from Toshin, which is pretty fucking cool. I actually love that brand, so thank you, Toshin. And then this is a photography book that one of my best friends, Nay, was featured in, and I bought it actually before I had ever met her. I was only internet friends with her, so this is a cute little magazine. I've definitely been trying to have maybe a more mature or elevated interior style. What I used to do in my spaces is glue tack film photos up to the wall for my decor, but I still want an element of that, so this fridge has been a beautiful canvas to just put up some prints that mean something to me. I also just love this contraption. I got this from a house that was cleared out. I think it was a coat or key hanger rack. Put my mugs on it. Thank you, Pinterest. It is freaky. Scaling my ass down these rocks in loafers. Holy shit. We're here now. Just bouncing around. I think it was really the internet and growing up on the internet that taught me to be fast. We have a special guest. He won't stop chirping. Hey! We're rewarded for speed. You want fast content, fast decisions, a lot of output, go, go, go. Okay, the squirrel's freaking me the fuck out. It is right there. You know what? So in the past few months, I really have felt myself slipping into this pattern of choosing to be fast, of jeopardizing some meaning and some intentionality behind what I'm making for speed, for convenience. And somewhere amongst this process, I just realized how scattered and disconnected from why I started this all I felt. And it got me to think a lot about convenience culture. Because between living in the United States and doing social media for work, convenience is a very big theme in my life. And it's something that's really hard to intentionally navigate around. I think my conclusion is that convenience is not always valuable. Sometimes it really just numbs us, and convenience for the sake of what is, I think, what we have to be asking, because there can't be good without bad. There can't be convenience without patience and struggling and boredom. Those things give it meaning and cause it to be something that can provide you ease. But I think you have to be really careful not to overindulge, because it can really just strip the soul out of things. Feelings of pride, accomplishment, feeling self-sufficient, capable, inspired. Those things convenience can really come at the cost of those things. And so I just encourage you to look at your life and think about the ways that maybe you take the scenic route, you know? Maybe you have more space to make that choice than you think. I sometimes think about my brain like it's a web browser, and like sometimes there's just way too many tabs open, okay? And the functionality, you know, I'm heating up, I'm making that loud fan noise, like the functionality is plummeting. So yeah, sometimes the only choice is to consolidate. Okay, you may be confused. It's a bit of a random room in here, but hear me out. I got a plan, okay? I'm on a mission to create a cozy space. So we're looking for a relatively compact, but still very voluptuous sofa. Hard to find, especially on a budget. So in the meantime, the placeholder for the area where the sofa will eventually go is this very incredible long desk that I purchased. But eventually, yeah, I'm gonna get a big dark area rug. I'm gonna put a plush sofa right here. I'm gonna have an armchair here, build some shelves maybe. Maybe keep this print. I don't know how I feel about it yet. Depends how it looks in the space. This room is gonna come together, but I've run out of money. I truly have. I need to focus on paying bills and not shopping on Facebook Marketplace. One way that I've been doing this is with the help of today's sponsor, Squarespace. Since designing my website with Squarespace, I've been able to experience freedom without pressure. It works for me in the background, bringing in freelance jobs, helping brands find me, and making my creative work easy to share even when I'm offline. Having a space that reflects who I am has made it easier to move slower and more intentionally, without constantly scrambling for the next opportunity. Reworking my site is always smooth and easy, with all of their different building blocks and AI tools to assist me. So, if you're ready to build something that works for you, head to squarespace.com to start your free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/willscamera or use code willscamera for 10% off of your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you, Squarespace, for sponsoring this video. So ever since I moved, I no longer had an excuse to ignore this way that I'd been feeling for so long. And so I asked myself, I asked my therapist, but I'm going to take credit for what she said. I asked, what does this look like on a daily basis? What sort of rituals, routines, what are we doing? Because I really am tired of coming on youtube.com/willscamera and talking about the same shit. Like, that's life, I guess. So here's the conclusion we came to. I'm starting with the bookends of my day. Morning and evening, okay? I'm just taking 10 to 20 minutes to wind up and wind down. Not waking up and rolling over to be on my phone. Not rushing through my morning routine, take those full 2 minutes, brush the teeth, slow the hand down as you're brushing. Same thing with washing your hands. I know that some of y'all are rushing through that shit. Gross. Disgusting. Although I be doing it too. At night, we're doing ambient lighting, we're trying to read some pages of a book maybe, or journaling, something to fulfill the soul that's not looking at a bright screen light, And trying to implement new habits actually really stresses me out because I feel like I have to commit to this full lifestyle transformation and never go back to the way I used to be, otherwise I'm failing. It doesn't have to be so big, so grand. It can just be 10 minutes, 10 minutes a day. Let me just say, God bless the person who installed these doors here. Thank you. Now it's just us. We don't have to worry about the outside world. Just you and I in here. That feeling, that designation changes this whole apartment. It does feel strange for me to be filming in here because this space really feels like mine. And my goal is actually to keep it that way. I don't know how much I'm going to film in this room. Something I've actually been talking about in therapy, to drop some lore here, is doing YouTube is weird. Like, it is. Like, doing it as a job is weird because now I'm like, doing lifestyle content. Let's get real for a second. Doing lifestyle content on a contract, you're anticipating documenting your life. Real talk for a second. I got contracts through end of October. I know that I'm going to be filming myself through the end of October. It like puts you on this weird timeline for things that I think would be a lot different if it was just up to me, but it doesn't feel like it's just up to me. But it's like my life is my space and it affects those things, even if it's not directly, like for an example, I got this rushed feeling to get this space together so I can film in it. I'm going on a trip next week. Maybe I would have actually preferred to go a different time of year, but I ain't got nothing else to film. So I was talking to my therapist about it, and like I don't even really think I've given it enough thought. I don't think I've given it the time of day of like, damn, you're creating a product out of your own life. And she was like, do you have anything like just for yourself? I said no. She said, that's bad. she said, we gotta change that. No, so when I saw these doors here, I was like, damn, this is actually really sick that I can separate off this space just to be my own. I learned about space designation when I was like 16, and kind of carrying that thought with me has really been beneficial for me in my life. If you're unfamiliar with the concept, it's like if I don't have a desk, right, and I take my laptop with me in bed and I'm working in bed where I also sleep, the purpose of that space kind of then goes into this gray area. It's a little more ambiguous. Now, to use another example, if I'm at my desk and I'm working and I get a notification on my phone and I check my phone and I'm sitting in my desk chair at my desk scrolling through Instagram, I get distracted, that purpose is redefined. It's not a focused space anymore. So the practice of creating certain activities that only can take place in certain spaces, then when you go there, when you're in that space, your brain is like, okay, I know what I'm meant to be doing. So that's kind of my intention with this bedroom, is just to like make it safe, make it a place where I'm okay to not be perceived, where I can just let loose. And yeah, it's really lovely. So let me show you guys a few details in here. Actually, over here behind you, there's this sick ass, it's not a camera, it's a slide, a photo slide enlarger. You used to take photos, you'd get slides, put it in there, it shines a light, you project it onto the wall, you see your photo. Okay, also just cool and gorgeous. Now it's in my room. Back here we got this bed and a nightstand. I gotta get a nightstand for the other side. Currently, everything's just on this table. But it works for now. Actually, most of the things in this room, this cool light, this bedside table, this bed frame, the desk outside, like most of the stuff in this apartment is all from my favorite vintage shop here in Denver. It's called Afterglow Vintage. You know what? I'm gonna tell y'all, my partner owns it. Okay? So, cat's out of the bag, but please do go support because holy shit, like even this camera, like all this just shit's from Afterglow. It's my partner and his business partner and then a few other people. Literally, I'd love it even if I wasn't involved in it somehow. I got this lovely bedding. I decided to splurge on it. Great pillows. Guys, why is it normal to spend so much money on a car, on clothing? I got a whole wardrobe full of clothes, but on the beds, like why are we slacking? Okay? Having a comfortable bed has changed my life. Sleeping well here, oh, it's so good. It's so good. I love it. I love it so much. I have a lot of projects I still want to do in this room. I bought the most gorgeous walnut wardrobe. I hope that I can get a clip and put it right here before I upload this video. It's going to go up on this wall. I hung up this guitar. I need an art print for here. Like, I got ideas, man. I got ideas and I'm ready to execute them. Me and Facebook Marketplace, we're like this. And then over here, we got a built-in wardrobe. It's lovely. Once again, like, what else can you ask for? To feel like I've put effort into like cultivating this intention that I set so long ago, but just didn't really know how to execute it. I've moved 5 times in like the last 8 months. I moved out of Berlin. I moved into my parents' place. I moved into my first room. I moved into my second room. And now I moved in here. Like, that is an exhausting process, especially when so many of those weren't anticipated. The only move I anticipated was moving into my parents' place. And I thought I was going to stay there for many months and like put together some plan. And then life just kind of like swept me up back into the storm, just in a new environment. And so to see the dust start to settle, signing on to a long-term lease and seeing a home come together in a way that can't just be taken apart in a few hours, which I've been known to do with my spaces. It creates a sense of security. It makes me feel held, if that's the right word. I feel very lucky and fortunate and proud of myself for setting that intention, seeing it happen, and for finding ways to do it all while being a full-time creative, making art, connecting with people. That's what I've always wanted, and here it is happening in a place that I never thought it would. The grace that I think we have to give ourselves is that most of us really just don't operate this way by default. It's not the way that most of the world works, unless you're fucking, I don't know, Jonna Yinton living up in like northern rural Sweden, and I bet you she still has a crazy screen time. However, I've actually found that it only takes a few minutes, if that, to enter a portal to this way of being. I've been learning this in somatic therapy, which essentially is just like a therapy practice that focuses on the body. We start every session by just kind of this grounding ritual of bringing myself into the moment. It's very simple, but very effective, and it's just a way to pause and notice where you are. So if you're willing, I'd actually like to go ahead and do that right now. It starts with a body scan. So you notice what you're doing. Are you sitting down? Are you laying down? If so, you can feel your weight on the object beneath you. Feel your feet pressing on the ground. Maybe your shoulders and muscles are tense. Feel into that and relax them. Check in, how are you feeling? What stimuli are you noticing around you? What can you see? What can you hear? What are you encoding that maybe you didn't realize you were? So I do invite you to close your eyes. You can pause this video and take a minute or two just to establish yourself. Scan from the top of your head down to your feet, focusing on every individual muscle if you can. And just recognize what's going on inside your body. Where are you tense? Where are you relaxed? And then eventually, take a deep breath and come into this moment. Yeah. Okay. It's a little cringe. I'm trying to push through it. I don't feel qualified to guide anyone through meditations. However, I do think it's really impactful when creators that I watch share techniques they use to live a more intentional, grounded life. And so this is me dipping my toes into those waters, I guess. It's really interesting because it really does feel like a portal into this way of being, but instead of going somewhere else through this portal, it's actually bringing you to where you are right now. It's a really interesting sensation to feel when you actually channel this energy and feel the sense of presence just kind of seep in to your being. I always feel so zoomed in to my phone, to an activity, to the camera, whatever it is. And when I do this, I can actually feel myself take up space and connect to the environment around me. I mean, it's so different in a place like this. Wow. So yeah, like I said, it's like a portal, and the destination is here. In this conversation around perfectionism, I often hear like, get it to 80%, you know? After 80%, like really only you can see the difference. And my response to that is like, okay, but I am me. Like, yeah, I can see the difference. You know, I really actually struggle to believe that that last 20% is truly unnoticeable. Sure, maybe someone can't pinpoint exactly what you did in that last 20%, but I think you can feel it. And like, full transparency, this video is on a timeline, okay? I'm filming this a week before it goes up because I have a sponsor. Like it's not always realistic. We can't always do it. I cannot give this video everything that I'd want to give to this video. But that's a shame. Like, that's not how I'm aspiring to continue on this path of making art. And like, if I want to call it art, girl, it better be art. I've just felt shit about what I'm doing, truly. Like, if I'm going to give 80% worth of that thoughtfulness and like heart and soul into a video, I feel like the last 20% is like a million times more rewarding. So it's just like a little more to give, it feels like, but it's like, oh yes, like this is good. No matter what, I'm proud of this. It's fulfilling, like in the truest sense of the word. It like makes life worth living for me. That last 20% can really be the thing that sets you apart. And personally, the people I look up to, the people I admire, have given it a level of care, like carefulness that it deserves, and that can actually be really beneficial, mindful content consumption that can leave you feeling, you know, even just inspired. Like, that's actually a really powerful feeling. Even if you don't necessarily learn anything tangible, if it can kind of light that flame in you to go and do something meaningful with your time. Anyway, I'll link some inspiring creators down below. Like, if you're making 30 reels a month, I'd love to see what you could do if you devoted the same amount of time to just one video, one project. My take, and maybe this is a little controversial, but I don't really care, is that people are going to care more about you as a person, as a soul, as a creator, and it's going to benefit you more long term. Maybe you're going to get more views. Like, if you want to think like fiscally, like businessy about it, like maybe you're going to get more views if you do the reel that's about the pop culture moment that happened yesterday, or if you do that like creator tactic, you know, where like you clap within the first second of the reel to like grab their attention, or you're making a drink while you talk to keep the viewer's eye tracking. I don't fucking know. If you do that shit, like, cool, good for you, but anyone can do that. Anyone can do that. And maybe for you it's just a job, you know, but I'm not interested. Make things that matter and make your life matter are kind of the takeaways that I've had after these 6 months of what felt like a creative solitary confinement, where I was just in shitty living situations and really just like not creating from the heart, creating from a contract. Those are my thoughts and feelings recently. Thanks for watching.